Do you agree with the people that Kendrick won the battle?
1000%.
You truly cannot make this up, man. Drake allegedly sent Kendrick Lamar a cease and desist over the Super Bowl. That's right, man. It looks like the beef between Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and the Super Bowl is not slowing down anytime soon, because apparently Drake is so upset that Kendrick Lamar is gonna be performing at the Super Bowl that he actually sent him another cease and desist.
Chains and Whips is the name of the diss track that Clips debuted at the Louis Vuitton fashion show. And TikTok is telling us that Kendrick Lamar is supposed to be on this.
Drake just got caught trying to mess with Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl moment, and the proof is out there, and it's ugly. Pusha T just exposed how Drake's been quietly plotting behind the scenes, using the same shady tricks he's used before to try and bring Kendrick down. But this time, it totally backfired. With February almost here, we're all thinking about the Super Bowl halftime show, but for Drake, it's more like his worst nightmare coming true. And Kendrick? He's making it harder than ever for Drake to stay in the spotlight. But the real twist came when SZA was revealed as a guest performer. Now, this isn't just a show, it's personal.
Up with it. Yeah, everything's smooth. I'm on the field right now. Yeah, you know, same old, keeping the body in motion, getting that wind up. You know, this field a lot bigger than what people think, so that's a must. Exactly. Now, I've been thinking about a guest performance.
The internet is going wild right now, and it's not just because SZA is one of the hottest artists out, but because of her past with both Kendrick and Drake. Remember the rumors that she and Kendrick were a thing? That old tension, mixed with the ongoing Drake-Kendrick drama, is turning the Super Bowl into a real battleground. It's like Kendrick is slowly setting things up against Drake, piece by piece, and then there's the awkward history between Drake and SZA. Back in 2020, Drake casually mentioned dating SZA on 21 Savage's track Mr. Right Now, rapping about how he used to date her in '08. The internet lost it, of course. But SZA quickly stepped in, saying it was actually 2009, not '08. Now, in a Rolling Stone interview, she's making things even clearer. She said it wasn't some big love story. It was just a short, childish situation that barely even counts. Basically, a casual situationship with no drama or heartbreak, just two young people crossing paths in New York. The best part? SZA's been totally unbothered about it from the start. In a 2022 interview, she even laughed it off, saying, "We're cool. We've always been cool. It's never been weird." Despite all the noise, their professional relationship has stayed solid. Drake even called on SZA for Slime You Out, the lead single from his For All the Dogs album. So, whatever happened back then didn't mess with their work connection. Their ability to make hits together is clear, but now suddenly, SZA is front and center at Kendrick's big moment. Is it just a coincidence, or is Kendrick playing a smart move in this long-running feud? Let's be honest, Kendrick is setting the stage against Drake. First, he lands the Super Bowl halftime spot, a stage Drake's never even touched. Now, he's bringing in SZA, who has some awkward history with Drake. The pettiness is real, and the energy here? Off the charts. Drake's been having a rough year, flopped albums, lawsuits, AI diss tracks, and now he has to watch his biggest rival shine in front of millions. It's like a revenge arc karma. It feels like the Super Bowl halftime show might end up being more dramatic than the actual game. Kendrick Lamar is running 2024, and at this point, all Drake can do is watch as his longtime rival takes the spotlight. Since Kendrick completely ended their rap war, he's been unstoppable. His diss track Not Like Us didn't just win the battle, it became a massive hit, turning into an anthem everyone's been blasting. Now, he's about to perform it on the biggest stage in music. Getting the Super Bowl halftime show isn't just a big deal, it's a major flex. It's the industry declaring that Kendrick is the voice of the culture right now, and Drake has no choice but to sit back and take it. This Super Bowl isn't just going to be a big moment, it's going to be a game changer for hip-hop. The Super Bowl is going to be a huge celebration of rap. But for Drake, it's looking like pure humiliation. He knows exactly what's coming. The memes, the jokes, the camera zooming in on every awkward moment he has that night. It's all inevitable, and the worst part is, there's nothing he can do about it. On top of that, Drake's legal battles with Universal Music Group are only making things messier. In a bold move, he's suing his own label, claiming they used bot streams to artificially boost Kendrick's diss track Not Like Us in an effort to destroy his career. He's saying UMG intentionally pushed Kendrick's song to make him look bad. But that's not even the craziest part. Drake also says Kendrick's track spread false criminal allegations about him, setting the stage for a major legal battle. While some fans are siding with Drake, others think this is just him trying to save face. The timing feels way too convenient, right before the Super Bowl, as Kendrick is about to have his biggest moment yet. It's almost like Drake scrambling to change the story before it's too late. But this lawsuit isn't just about money. It's about Drake's pride. He knows he lost the battle on the streets and in the culture, and now he's trying to win in the boardrooms, and one person who's been watching all of this from the sidelines is Pusha T. If anyone understands Drake's tactics, it's him. Pusha was the first to expose Drake back in 2018 with his story of Adidon, revealing Drake's secret son and flipping the script on his career. Fast forward to 2022, and while still licking his wounds from that punch, Drake allegedly tried to make a move by throwing a $100,000 bounty in the streets to find some dirt on Pusha. But the problem? There was no dirt to find. Pusha clapped back, saying, "You got $100,000 out there for info? You can't buy skeletons that don't exist." Pusha's clean, at least when it comes to the kind of dirt Drake was looking for. Even worse, the streets weren't on Drake's side. Pusha confirmed this in an interview with Big Boy's Neighborhood, showing that Drake's attempt to dig up dirt totally backfired.
And just went, it just went where it went, and it's just there's no turning back. It's not like those other situations. I'll say at that point, it wasn't even about battle rap or any of that. It was just the information was too shocking. It was, like I said, on his part, it was a genius chess move. He obviously has no when it comes to me, he's not gonna have any morals or respect. So the other elements of the record, whether it be the shit that he's making up about my mom and my dad and all this or obviously the part that hit me the most, which is wishing that my friend that has an illness dies. That to me is just not really wavy. I'm just not really with that. And when I did say, oh, there's rules to this, I didn't mean there's rules that anybody has to follow.
Out of the blue, some random street dude, not even someone from Pusha's crew, hit him up to let him know what Drake was trying to do. Apparently, a woman working for Drake reached out to one of Pusha's close people, hoping he'd give in and play along with whatever plan they had. But instead of falling for it, the guy played it cool. He kept the conversation going just enough to gather info, and then went straight to Pusha with the details. He turned the whole thing around, using it against Drake without ever letting him know.
But it's sensitive and it's real, and it's, you know what I mean? It's unfiltered, so it's
Drake thought he was pulling the strings, setting a trap, but in reality, he was the one getting played. The woman involved is deep in the industry, and it threw Pusha off at first. He was so surprised by what he heard that he called her husband to see if it was true. Pusha didn't want to believe it, but as the conversation went on, he could hear the hesitation in the husband's voice. He wasn't outright denying it, but Pusha could tell there was something going on. He told him not to tell her anything, just to call him back after thinking it through. The whole thing felt shady, and Pusha wasn't about to let it go. What's crazy is how Pusha and Kendrick both talk about Drake using the same dirty tactics against them. They're both at odds with him, and it's wild how they've each been betrayed in a similar way. For Pusha, it was someone he trusted in the industry, willing to backstab him just to get close to Drake. It's messed up, but it really shows the lengths people will go to when they're trying to play the game for the wrong reasons. Pusha wasn't messing around when he caught wind of what was going on. He called up her husband and told him straight, "Look, if she's out here handling $100,000 for Drake to dig up dirt, we've got a problem." He wasn't even stressing about it. He just laughed it off. His attitude? You can't create skeletons that don't exist. Drake's trying to make something out of nothing, but Pusha wasn't about to let that slide. What's wild is Kendrick also called out Drake for doing the same thing. On 6/16 in LA, Kendrick rapped, "It was fun until you started throwing money in the streets, then lost money because they came back with nothing." Drake's out here paying for dirt, but all he's getting is empty promises. Kendrick wasn't done either. In Euphoria, he rapped, Why would I be calling around trying to get dirt on NWS? Y'all think my life is all about drama? It's clear he's calling out Drake for always trying to find something on his enemies, instead of just facing them head-on, and you know what? Pusha loved it. Kendrick even gave him a shout-out in Euphoria with a little, "Let me see you, Pusha T." When Pusha was asked about it, he didn't shy away. He was all in, and speaking of the internet, remember when Pusha's name was trending on Twitter for some wild rumors? People were saying the craziest things, like he was selling coke to their imaginary friends. It's nuts how the internet just runs with anything but Pusha. He just keeps it moving, staying focused on the real drama. The internet went crazy with rumors about Drake being behind some weird Twitter bot attack, and people quickly started pointing fingers at him. But here's the catch. At the same time, Jim Jones also had beef with Pusha, yet Jim didn't hide behind bots. He kept it real, while Drake let the internet do his dirty work, like he always does. This whole bot thing isn't new for Drake. He's been caught up in it before. Just like his ongoing issues with Pusha, their beef started all the way back in 2011 when Pusha first called out Drake for having ghostwriters. That was one of the first times fans began questioning if Drake was really writing his own bars. Then came Pusha's "Don't F With Me" freestyle, where he took shots at Drake for acting like a boss just because he got famous. Pusha's line about rappers on their sophomore albums acting like bosses was a shot at how fame can make some people feel untouchable. Drake didn't really respond until 2013 with Tuscan Leather, but the real punch came in 2018 when Pusha dropped The Story of Adidon. The line, "You are hiding a child," hit hard, and suddenly everyone knew about Drake's son, Adonis. That moment changed everything, and Drake's been looking shaky ever since now. Here's where it gets even juicier. Kendrick might have just kept that legacy going. If the rumors are true, Kendrick just exposed Drake for allegedly hiding a daughter, too. On Meet the Grams, Kendrick raps, "Dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father's not active in your world." He don't commit to much, but his music, yeah, that's for sure. He's a narcissist, misogynist, living inside his songs, tearing families apart. Ouch. If Kendrick is talking about Drake, it's just another chapter in the drama. If Kendrick's line about Drake possibly hiding a daughter is true, it's like a second blow to his image after the whole Adonis situation. This could seriously hurt Drake's reputation, especially since fans are already talking about him being involved in more family secrets. But it gets even juicier. Word is, Pusha T and Kanye are planning to team up to go after Drake again, and this time, the Kardashians are in the mix. Drake's been around that family for a while. First, there were rumors about him and Kylie Jenner after he showed up at her 16th birthday. Then, there were whispers about him and Kris Jenner, and the biggest one, Drake and Kim Kardashian. When Kim filed for divorce from Kanye, Drake didn't waste any time. He thought this was his moment to step in, especially since he'd always believed Kanye wasn't the right guy for Kim. Sources say he's been saying for years that their relationship was doomed and that it would end badly. So, when Kim became single, Drake decided to reach out to her. Kanye didn't like this one bit. He's called out Drake for years, accusing him of being shady, and he's not backing down now. Kanye's made it clear that just because someone is likable, it doesn't mean they're good. He said, "Morality and likability don't go hand in hand. The most immoral people are often the ones everyone likes." He might like Drake's music, but when it comes to Drake's personal life, Kanye's not fooled. Especially when it comes to Kim, that Kanye's always said he's got love for everyone, but he's making it clear now that what Drake and Lucian were doing was way too much. The way they worked together to control the numbers and tweak the algorithm, it was all about power. Those two definitely knew what they were doing behind the scenes. Some people even think Drake might have been involved with Kylie's second child. It might sound crazy, but with all the back and forth with Drake and the Kardashians, anything's possible. Nick Cannon even jumped in and backed up the idea that Drake's been too close to the Kardashian family. He straight up said, "I think Drake smashed Kim K, no cap, and honestly, it's not that far off." People have been sensing for a while now that Drake has some kind of personal connection with them. Whether it's with Kim, Kylie, or whoever, he's always been in the mix now. Pusha T is making moves again. He's been quiet for months, but suddenly he's liking tweets about Drake's downfall and throwing subtle jabs. Word on the street is, he's possibly teaming up with Kendrick for something huge. If anyone knows how to make a real impact, it's Pusha. He doesn't drop hints for no reason, and with the way he's circling back to Drake, we know something big is coming. Drake's in full panic mode right now, and it shows. He's been doing everything he can to stop Kendrick from performing at the Super Bowl, and it's clear this lawsuit against UMG is just part of his plan. Now, rumors are flying that Drake's team is quietly pressuring the NFL to cancel Kendrick's halftime show. They're trying to make the case that Kendrick's song, Not Like Us, is too controversial and could be seen as reckless to play on such a big stage, but fans aren't buying it. To many, it just looks like Drake's trying to control hip-hop culture because he couldn't handle losing the rap battle. The backlash has been fast, with people calling him out for trying to manipulate the industry instead of taking the loss gracefully. In fact, all this is just making things worse for him and making him look like a sore loser. And then there's the whole bot controversy. Drake's team actually tried to claim that Kendrick's Not Like Us wasn't a real hit and that he used bots to boost his streams. DJ Academics even brought some random guy onto his stream, claiming the guy was paid to juice Kendrick's numbers. But as soon as people started looking into it, everything fell apart. The evidence was fake, and the guy had no credibility. Meanwhile, real evidence started popping up showing that Drake's been using bots for years. Fans found weird streaming patterns and suspicious numbers to back it up. The receipts are stacking up, showing OVO-affiliated accounts running social media spam campaigns. The irony is wild. Drake tried to call out Kendrick for doing something he's been guilty of the whole time. It's honestly getting a little embarrassing how obvious his strategy is. He's throwing everything at the wall, hoping something sticks, but it's just making him look worse. Meanwhile, Pusha T and Kendrick are just sitting back, watching it all happen. They don't even have to do anything. But that doesn't mean they're not working on something big. The Clips reunion album, Let God Sort Them Out, has everyone hyped. Pusha T and No Mal have been teasing it for a while, and fans were pumped when they said it was done. At one point, they mentioned waiting on a special feature, and of course, fans immediately started thinking it could be Kendrick. After all, they made magic together back in 2014, so why not do it again? Here's where it gets interesting. A TikTok copyright claim had fans talking. It all started with chains and whips. A diss track Clips premiered at the Louis Vuitton fashion show. People on TikTok are now convinced Kendrick is featured on it. A user claimed they got hit with a copyright strike from UMG for using a snippet of the song, and the takedown notice actually listed the track as Chains and Whips featuring Kendrick Lamar. Now, we don't know for sure yet. This is all speculation, but it's got people wondering, could this be happening? Fans are ready to hear it, and if it's true, it's going to be fire. The thought of Kendrick Lamar possibly being on Pusha T's new album has fans freaking out. Even if it doesn't happen, Let God Sort Them Out is already shaping up to be something huge. He wanted to fight, and now he's in one. The scariest part? It looks like he's already lost. What do you think? Did Drake just seal his own fate? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out the next video because this story is far from over.